The reviews for Nioh 2 are coming out, and a lot of the information about the game is also rolling out right now. We'll talk about the reviews in a different video. However, the Nioh 2 length and playtime is causing a lot of discussion, as well as this is going to be a very, very lengthy game, and I do want to give my opinions on the game and why I'm so excited for the game, and why I think you should also be very excited for the PlayStation 4 exclusive that, by the way, is getting really good reviews. Also, the shots heard around the world, E3 2020 has been officially canceled. This is going viral just about everywhere. It's all over social media, whether you go on Twitter, Reddit, MySpace. E3 2020 is not happening this year. We already knew that Sony was not going to be a part of it. However, it was still promising to be a major show, and Jason Schreier actually noted that Warner Brothers Games was planning to do an E3 press conference this year for the first time to talk about a plethora of new games. Unfortunately, that won't be coming to fruition, so we'll talk that as well. Alright, so PowerPix has a post out right now, and I'll leave a link to them in the description box below. They talked about the Nioh 2 length and playtime. Are you wondering how long is Nioh 2? With Nioh 2 being a highly skill-related game, it can vary a lot. Here are the Nioh 2 game length estimates when doing side missions along the way, which you should to say sufficiently level. 50 to 120 hours for Nioh veterans, 90 to 150 hours for new players who didn't play the previous game. An average Nioh 2 playthrough takes around 100 hours, so this is going to be a lengthy and content-filled game, obviously with it having an immense focus on its challenge. Depending on your skill level of the game, depending on whether or not you want to do all of the side missions that are available, the game's length is going to vary playthrough to playthrough and player to player, so that is something to note. And of course, once you're familiar with all of the enemies, you can do it a lot faster in New Game Plus. The game could be speedran in just a few hours because technically you could run past all the enemies, but on the first playthrough, you'll have to learn all the movesets of the enemies and when to attack them. You will die a lot, and it takes time to fully explore the maps and gather all Kodama collectibles, which give you more elixirs on respawn, so go get them to make things easier. They also noted, personally, it took me just a little over 100 hours while searching for all of the collectibles and doing the side missions along the way. How long did Nioh 2 ultimately take for the general player? Again, it's gonna vary player to player just because the skill level is such a big element in this game, and Nioh 2 is touted to be a very, very challenging game based on all of the reviews. It's an engrossing follow-up to the first title based on the reviews, and it's getting good reviews. IGN gave it a 9.0, Push Square gave it an 8 out of 10. Very, very solid reviews are coming out, and Nioh 1 was so good that if fundamentally Nioh 2 just builds upon the successes of Nioh 1, it is gonna be a rather good game. IGN specifically noted, Nioh 2 improves and evolves just about everything that was great in the first, though it won't win over any new fans that found the original game too challenging or anything like that. If you didn't like the first game, chances are you're not going to like Nioh 2, but why fix what wasn't broken for so many people? Sure, there might have been a small pocket of people that didn't enjoy Nioh's offerings, but if you knew what you were getting into, a challenging, and I hate to say it, Souls-like experience, because the game offers so much more than its typical Souls-like comparison would suggest, it is a great game. And not to say Souls is bad by any means, it's just like Nioh stands on its own and it's a fantastic game in its own right. The gameplay is great, the setting's awesome, and Nioh 2 really accentuates those elements as well. If you enjoyed the first title, definitely Nioh 2 is gonna be a game to buy, and as a PlayStation 4 exclusive, man, March is packed with exclusives with Nioh 2. You've got Persona 5 Royal, then next month FF7 Remake, and a lot of other games coming out as PS4 exclusives. However, as I mentioned yesterday, exclusivity shouldn't be the major drawing factor of a game being sold to you. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day, and I ultimately do think Nioh 2 is going to come out on PC, much like the first Nioh game did make a transition to PC, but nonetheless, Nioh 2 being received very well, and if you're looking at the game from a standpoint of are you going to get your $60 worth, by the looks of it, you will, as it is going to be a very, very lengthy game. Alright, moving on from that, the shots heard around the world, it is official, E3 2020 has been canceled, and we have an official statement from ESA noting growing concerns over the COVID-19 virus and officially canceling this year's Electronic Entertainment Expo. The organization says it's exploring options with our members to coordinate an online experience to showcase industry announcements and news in June 2020, but nothing concrete has been announced on that source. Noting after careful consultation with our member companies regarding the health and safety of everyone in our industry, our fans, our employees, our exhibitors, and our longtime E3 partners, we have made the difficult decision to cancel E3 2020 scheduled for June 9th to the 11th in Los Angeles. The ESA statement reads, following increased and overwhelming concerns about the COVID-19 virus, we felt that this was the best way to proceed during such an unprecedented global situation. We are very disappointed that we are unable to hold this event for our fans and supporters, but we know it's the right decision based on the information we have today. Our team will be reaching out directly to exhibitors and attendees with information about providing full refunds. So if you were planning on going to E3, don't worry, you will be getting a refund. However, the issue is maybe you already had your vacation time booked, maybe you already had hotels booked, and this is going to be a little bit of an issue. However, ultimately, it's about the safety of everyone involved, and I can understand why they are canceling E3. For a lot of you guys that are PlayStation guys, E3 being canceled probably doesn't even faze you that much just because PlayStation and Sony had already announced they weren't going to be a part of the big event. However, you were going to have other major publishers there, other major publishers showcasing significant PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games, so not seeing those is going to be a disappointment. However, for those of you that are just going to be watching at home, chances are there is going to be some sort of online showcase for all of these games. That's what I would imagine is going to be going on, and honestly, this could be a very, very bad thing for the physical E3 event and the event where everybody gathers, because if it turns out that, you know, these publishers and developers can showcase their games online and kind of come together in this online E3 phenomenon, so to speak, well, then that mitigates a lot of the cost for actually traveling, you know, setting up all your things for a physical event and an on-location event. And what's to stop them from the following year to say, hey, let's go and do E3 online again, or let's go and do our promotional push for these games online again, because it is going to have the same significant impact. Nowadays, a lot more people are in tune with what's going on online, and it's not a big deal if you don't have an E3 event. You could just promote your games online. We're going to have a case study this year in how that is actually going to be done, because I imagine that major games are going to get significant gameplay demos just revealed online. That's what they're going to do, and what I would like to see is I would really love to see publishers and developers unite in this situation and maybe roll out their own event. Maybe E3 can be a part of it, and the ESA can be a part of it, just unifying everybody and having them come together, and you have this big rollout of information, because when you have this idea that it's just going to be significant game rollout after game rollout, it does cause that air of excitement that E3 does offer, but you can create that air of excitement by also just having a unified front in revealing these games, announcing these games, and you can still generate a lot of excitement online. Maybe it won't have that, you know, big event feel because you won't see the swarms and swarms of people there, but you could still generate a lot of interest, as we've seen with Nintendo Directs. Whenever a Nintendo Direct rolls around, a lot of information and a lot of hype is surrounding that, and this would just be to a greater extent, because even if Sony's not a part of it, you've got Microsoft, you've got Warner Brothers, which we'll talk about, Ubisoft, EA, a lot of major publishers that will be showcasing their games. And Jason Schreier noted on Twitter that while Sony wasn't going to be there this year, Warner Brothers Games was planning to do an E3 press conference this year for the first time to talk about Batman, Harry Potter, and Rocksteady's game, among others. It remains to be seen what they'll do now. Now, Rocksteady's game is a little bit of a meme at this point. I feel like I've been talking about that game for years, but to see that game get revealed, to get a new Batman game, and to get that aforementioned Harry Potter game that we've been talking about, that would be pretty significant out of a Warner Brothers, and those are all games that you would think would be PS4 and PS5 titles. So even if you're a Sony guy and you're upset that PlayStation was not going to have a big emphasis at E3, at the end of the day, a lot of these publishers, they're releasing multi-platform games, so that would still be very, very exciting. We'll have to wait and see how ultimately everything rolls out and how these developers decide to roll out their information. But again, from my vantage point, I really think it's time for everybody to come together and do some sort of online reveal, a mass online reveal where gaming is just the talk of the town for a week and a half, where all of these reveals are coming out. Because yeah, you can drop a gameplay demo just randomly out of nowhere and people will get excited, but if you have that air of excitement from this gaming buzz going on for a week or so, that's just going to cause even more excitement. So that is the route I would go. But that's going to conclude this video. Again, Nioh 2 length around north of 100 hours depending on your play style and your skill level at the game. E3 2020 has unfortunately been officially canceled. I think everybody saw this coming, but it is a little bit of a bummer given that E3 excitement was a little bit down this year, but nonetheless, for the safety of everyone involved, I can see why it's happening. And Warner Brothers Games, they were planning on revealing Batman, Harry Potter, and Rocksteady's new title. How they showcase those titles and roll those out, That's going to be very interesting. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.